Hey everybody, Tim here with a brand new series, Lost in Space. So the Netflix new original series. Now, if I was going to do this my way, I would have actually started back with the original series from the 60s, which I kind of grew up on. I have seen quite a bit of the episodes, but not like every single one as like a binge. And I probably will go back and eventually do it that way. But the season 2 trailer just dropped. I was going to do a reaction video, but I was just like, nah, I'm just going to watch this. Because it was a teaser, it didn't really give anything away. So season 2 starts on Christmas of this year. And I was like, you know what? Like, season 1's like 10 episodes. I could easily do this real quick and then go on to season 2. And so, like I said, I kind of watched the original growing up, like reruns and stuff, just like Star Trek, Gilligan's Island, Lost in Space, all sorts of those like 60s TV shows. And then I do remember when like the 1998 movie came out with like Matt LeBlanc and William Hurt and all those guys. And I actually really liked that movie. That movie, like, mostly because I was so young when it came out, it just kind of has a nostalgic feel for me. I probably will go back and do a review for that one as well. But I just wanted to start with this one, Season 1, Episode 1, Impact. And to be honest with you, like, at this point, with, like, these modern shows, I don't even know why I say the titles. Like, Stranger Things, I don't think anybody could tell me the name of a title of a single episode. Or Lost in Space, I don't think anybody knows any of the title of the episodes. They're just like Episode 1, Episode 6, whatever. Whereas, like, if you go back to, like, the original shows, especially, like, Star Trek and stuff, if I say, oh, Inner Light, or Measure of a Man or something like that, people know exactly which episode I'm talking about. Whereas if I was like Impact, nobody knows. Oh, that's the pilot episode. But I'm still going to do it. It kind of helps me keep track of everything. As far as pilots go, I would say this was a really well done pilot. I really did kind of enjoy it. It's different than what I was expecting it to be, and it's a little bit soap opera-ish, just kind of learning about everybody. But I mean, for these Netflix shows, you have one season, you have 10 episodes, and you have a lot of character development to like barrel through. And I think they actually do a fairly good job. From like the opening scene of them playing Go Fish to boom, now we're crashing. It's a really interesting thing. And then watching like Jupiter 2 sink into the ice water, like, clearly this show had some money, and it's a really well done effects, and it looked fantastic. I liked a lot of the Christmas flashbacks, kind of figuring out exactly what's going on and what kind of propelled them to leave space, or to leave Earth, I guess. Which, I do like that part where they're like, oh, like, don't call Earth home. That's not our home anymore. We're going to our home. We're going to the colony and stuff like that. I like the whole mixed family aspect, and then how protective Judy is of Will, where he's like freezing up because his dad wants him to go into the Jupiter ship to get some stuff, and Judy takes his place. And let me tell you, that scene where she's like coming out of the water and you're watching it freeze, again, it was amazing, like cinematography. It was really, really well done. Some kind of classic filming techniques where when we're looking at like Penny and Maureen and all of them outside, it's some really good faraway shots. But anytime we're like with Judy in the ice, you're like right up in her face to kind of make the viewer feel claustrophobic being in the ice. Really kind of cliche, but really, really well done. I thought they did a great job. Like Jonathan and Will like bonding together, looking for the magnesium, and then Will just like gets lost, like falls down this tunnel, and he's like, I'll see you later, I'll be back for you, I can only save one kid at a time, and just dips out. It's like, damn, like that was like kind of unexpected, but it also fit with the character, so I kind of got it. The whole like Penny having to cut into Maureen, like cutting into a steak, was just beyond messed up. But I mean, it worked, and it kind of made sense as they go down. Lots of flashbacks, like so evidently there's like, it looks like the Christmas meteor, something is coming towards Earth to make it inhabitable, and only people who pass certain tests are able to evacuate, and Will doesn't seem to be passing the tests. But then of course the whole Robinsons always stick together, like I love that whole line. I did like how Maureen seems to be the one that's kind of the anti-hero. She's kind of the twist in this whole story, where Will failed the test, so he can't go, but she's trading secret documents and it allows Will to pass. So I'm sure we'll learn more about it as the story continues, but it's kind of interesting that she's like almost the bad guy. She's the reason that something's going to happen, but it allowed Will to go with them. So I really like that. I thought that was great. When Will finds like the crashed ship and like his whole documentary where he's like, I'm about to meet like the aliens for the first time, was super cute. I really liked it. And the fact that he's just in like this forest, like they were in this snowy mountain range, and then it became like Land of the Lost, where he's just like, oh hey look, woods. So that was kind of interesting. But it's a different planet, so I guess it makes sense. And then to go back to the flashbacks, Maureen wanting John to sign not necessarily divorce papers, but like papers to give her custody of the kids so they could leave without him. Like, this is clearly not the Robinsons we grew up with, like back from the 60s or even 1998. Like, this marriage is not a good one. Like, it's not a happy marriage. So it'll be interesting to see how they like separate even more during the course of the show. Let's see, the whole, like, where it starts raining, let's see, John gets back with the magnesium, and they're trying to dig Judy out, but it starts raining. At the same time, Will's in the forest, and you get fire, so you got, like, this fire and ice, like, contrast. Again, really good cinematography. I really enjoyed it. And then to kind of watch Judy get reburied in there. The whole robot scene was actually pretty cool, where like the legs are running around on the ground, but the torso is up on top. Was kind of interesting, kind of, again, what's showing how different this robot is and how it's actually an alien. It's not a man-built robot like from the series or from the movie. So I really like that. And when they finally get back, and he actually says the line, "Danger, Will Robinson," classic, like, Lost in Space line. So of course it was going to be in there. It was in the trailers, so I'm not really surprised, but it was kind of interesting to hear him say it. And then he's the one that melts the ice and gives them heat. And at first you're like, oh, that's the end of the episode. That'd be awesome. No, like, they have, like, oh, by the way, we have other characters to kind of, like, show you really quickly. And so it goes back to the Resolute 12 hours before this whole adventure started, back to when they were, like, playing poker. And it's just being bombarded by some disaster. You don't necessarily know right away what it is. And we see Major West is introduced, although he doesn't actually say his name. But, like, I know who he was, and you saw the name tag. And then we see Bill Mummy makes an appearance, which was great. If you guys don't know who that is, he had he was one of the main characters in Babylon 5, and he had a small appearance in Star Trek, and he was the original Will Robinson. So that was great to actually see him, and he plays the actual Dr. Smith, where we realize, like, whoever this crazy woman is that's locked up in solitary confinement, like, steals his identity, goes with Major West, and is like, hey, it's time to go. So we get the Robinson family, we get Major West and Dr. Smith, quote unquote, on another ship. Eventually you're going to assume that they're going to come together, but it's still kind of interesting to kind of watch these different characters that we all know about kind of eventually collide. Overall, as a pilot, I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. And for those who did see this one, what did you guys think about, like, all of the different characters? What did you think about the things that were similar to the original series and the differences to the original series? What did you think about all of that? And I will see you guys next time for Diamonds in the Sky.